though, Zamir White is one that I'm monitoring because he could be either a huge value, because we saw him really reel off some major weeks for fantasy near the end with Josh Jacobs dealing with some injuries. But I think a lot hinges on what happens. I don't think Zamir White himself has earned this role unless Antonio Pierce returns and Josh Jacobs does not. So
Yeah,
we're going to see what happens with Zamir White, but I think his value is very in flux this offseason.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a very, very high likelihood that the Raiders do bring back Antonio Pierce after, especially what happened with Rich Bisaccia and how much the players wanted him to come back. And Mark Davis said no. So I think that he won't make that same mistake twice where his players really want someone to stay and then he decides to go a different route. So I'd be very surprised if Antonio Pierce wasn't named the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders pretty soon here. But to your point, Zamir White played well in the fantasy playoffs and towards the latter half of the season. He was a great player when Josh Jacobs was out. So what the Raiders decide to do with Jacobs is going to 100% be in line with how valuable Zamir White will be. I think there is a chance that the Raiders bring him back. I don't know if Jacobs wants to go anywhere, but if he does, then I think that the Zamir White could be a mid-tier RB2 for this upcoming year.
Yeah, the volume, the pass catching, the big plays, all of that can factor in. One player that may be very influenced by his head coach or prospective head coach, Antonio Pierce. Yes, he is the favorite to return to the Vegas Raiders, but that's not a done deal. Other teams have looked at Antonio Pierce, like the Tennessee Titans and the Atlanta Falcons,